Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Joe Chaffee. This is a good day to hang out Christmas lights outside because the weather is still pretty warm and you don't ever want to do it when it's really cold like I have in the past. But that's an aside note because the pattern overall is going to provide you with mainly above normal temperatures for the next couple of weeks based on what I'm looking at here. It's a very sorry pattern for anyone looking for any kind of wintertime weather east of the Rockies, except for the west, maybe that's about it. And I just want to show you here. This is the European model from last night, and we're going to put it in motion. And what's happening here is this is today. Actually, if this were the beginnings of the pattern for the week, where you have this strengthening jet coming out of Canada, this is going to bring down a temporary shot of chillier air, but by no means is it cold air because we're not very deep into it. The vortexes are still pretty far north, but still you have this flow. Now, I just want you to watch what happens, and if you like wintertime weather, you're not going to like this at all. By the time we get to Tuesday, that northern jet's already flattening out here. You can see these vortexes. This one here is moving northwestward. You have part of it rotating into Greenland, which is never good. And then as we jump on to further into the future, and notice what happens across Canada. You have basically, this is for next Friday night, the flow. Yeah, you have the southern part of this split with weather systems moving along it, and you also have the Pacific jet just flooding warm air into Canada, into Western Canada, that moves straight across. The Arctic source regions of cold air just completely cut off. You have a vortex east of Greenland, you have a little vortex in northern Canada, and you have a vortex that's sitting over westernmost Alaska, about to drop into the Aleutians, which is not good with regards to wintertime weather here in the east. And I'll just sort of jump into the rest of the period because it actually gets worse as we go into the December 7th time frame. There you have it. This is 10 days from now, southern part of the split. Here's that warm air just keeps flooding into Western Canada. Vortexes from the Aleutians to north of Alaska, almost near the pole, and then another one that's back through Greenland. So this is about as wrong as you could get a pattern to set up. It's about as ugly as it can get aloft for anyone who likes wintertime weather. Strong ridge in the east, whatever troughing is going on in the west, and this really powerful jet that just runs right into Western Canada and floods warm air. Now, I want to jump to the GFS from overnight because it really wasn't that much different. I just want to show by doing the temperatures, because I think that really illustrates the issue very well. Sometimes you can look at a jet stream map that I just showed you, and I know the natural reaction might be, well, I really don't understand what that means. Okay, so when you say cold air trapped, I don't get that. Well, remember, all those vortexes were lined up right here. Okay, one was right there, or perhaps near the Aleutians, another one near the pole, and another one running near Greenland, at least at the end of the period. Now, watch, this is the bitter cold air, all this white and purple, okay? And you can watch what happens as we set this in motion, and I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. It never really leaves northern Canada. Okay, we're running now through early and the middle part of next week, and you can see there's no way for that cold air to make its way down. It just kind of rotates and rotates and rotates. I mean, this really reflects the jet stream when you look at it in terms of just ground temperatures. It's a kind of a simple way to illustrate the fact that you're not going to see the cold air advance southward. As long as the vortexes are locked up here, that's where the cold air is. Now, right at the very end, there's a little extension that kind of starts extending southward down to Hudson's Bay. You see that right there? That could be just the GFS nonsense, because it seems like on every run, usually around the last couple of periods, it wants to change the pattern, and it doesn't want to do that. So I'm not buying it. In the meantime, also, just one other thing real quick, and then we'll call it a day, just to put this in perspective of above and below normal temperatures over the period. And I'm going to speed this up a bit. All right, so the reddish areas signify above normal temperatures. And actually, when you look at it, it has us a little above normal from time to time, and temperatures are near normal the rest of the time. So it's not really overly warm on this particular run. You notice that in Canada, there's patches of much above normal temperatures right there in the purple here. Where it's cold, temperatures here just normal to a little bit below. So that's about the only place surrounding the vortexes is where temperatures are running a little bit below normal. So bottom line is, until the entire upper air atmospheric profile completely changes, we're just going to go on with more of the same for at least the next 10 days and possibly for the next 2 weeks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.